not, we can go different ways, but right up here, on your top left, you got what? Project. And then we're going to come down and go to what? New. Everybody okay with me so far? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to name the project according to which station you're on. Everybody okay?
Meaning process, the name of it, correct?
Right, if you're on. So you're on the process. So that's what we're going to call the project. So name it after your module. So I'm looking at buffer, and I might wire this up. Next thing you need to do is what? Make sure it's pointing. It should be pointing. It should have came up to Z, right? It did automatically came up to Z, right? Okay. And then we can just come up here and say what? Create. Do you want to save changes to the current project? No. Well, yeah, I guess we can. That's okay. We don't need that anymore, right? And then of course it's going to take a little while to create the project. Are y'all still working? I'm still working. To the text box yet. Yeah, we probably can right click and go to what? Property. Yeah, I don't know what mine's doing. Okay, there we go. Or we could have hit F2, right? And I'm going to call mine a buffer. Right? Your network part won't show up. So we okay so far? Except for Anthony now. Okay, so we renamed our PLC. We're still offline. What's the next thing we probably need to do? I'm going to go up here and I'm going to right click on my PLC name, and then I'm going to go over here and go to properties, right? Everybody okay so far? And then what I'm going to do is hopefully when mine opens up, we're going to go down to what? System and memory, system and clock, I think it's. And then we're going to set that to memory address is what? 6 and 7, right? So I'm going to go down, mine's just running slow. I'm going to go down to system and clock memory, right? Double click on that. And then when it finally opens up, I'm going to I'm going to enable the system memory, right? So all I have to do is click on that down here on this text box. I'm going to change this to what? 6, right? Then I'm going to go down to the next one. I'm going to enable that. And I'm going to change this to 7. If we didn't, if we left 0 and 1, then that would screw up our addressing. So right now, I can take B30/0 and use M0-0, right? M0.0. I'm going to come up here and say OK. All right, guys, what do we do next? Well, we can, but I think I think we can take a shortcut right now. I think we can come, since we've got the CPU selected. Y'all see where it's selected? What we can do is just come up here to download, and we can download the hardware configuration that way. I might have to restart mine stuff.
Continue with that civilization.
Download, go to download where?
Just your regular download. What I learned is whatever you have highlighted, that's what you're going to download to. So what's really neat, huh? You should be able to continue without, yeah, see what it does. What it's doing is it's telling us there's already a program in there, or there's already a configuration in there. If this don't work, then we'll do it the other way.
What do we do after our system?
You've got your processor highlighted, and so what we're going to do is just click download. Just click on download. So what we're doing is and I found this out too, guys, is whatever you have highlighted and you hit download, that's what it's going to download to. So if I've got OB1 highlighted, it's going to download my program, right? You understand that? If I've got an HDMI panel up there and I highlight the HDMI panel, it's going to download to the HDMI panel.
So you highlighted that CPU box first.
Well, I just highlighted it over here. Mine didn't even ask for synchronization.
We're going to continue without.
Yes. So if you try to synchronize, then what would it do? It would try to synchronize what you got in there now with it's kind of like when you synchronize a calendar. We don't want anything that's in there now. We're starting a whole new program, right? So mine did pop up there. Mine's just a little slower. Mine's just that. Yeah, stop all. Or no, we don't want to start it. So just hit finish. We don't want to start the CPU. There's nothing out there. We don't need that.
What if you did, you can start all.
Well, it'll switch online. It won't do it. It's just that you'll probably have to go online before it lets you upload program. Okay, guys. All right, now y'all got y'all's handouts. What are the three things? What are the three? Let's redo it. What's the name of the main program? No, when we look at the handout that you picked up, we've got, I think, 4 subroutines and then a main block, right? You understand? Yes or no? Are we okay? Y'all understand? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come over here to my program blocks, and then I'm going to open up what? First of all, we got one called main OB1. What do we want to do with that? Well, we want to rename it. What do they call that? What do they call the first subroutine in that handout I gave? Look across the top, and that's the name of the routine. So what we're going to do is we're going to give it the same names that Alan Bradley used. No, we don't have emergency stop, right? We got P underline ORG. So that's the name of the main name of the main loop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here on my main right here, and I'm going to right click on it and go to what? Do we have a rename? I'm going to rename it.
I see P here. Where are you looking? Where does it say P-O-R?
I'm sorry, right here. This is the name of the program.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sir, the name.
So you could hit F2, I'm gonna hit rename, it goes blank, and I'm gonna name this, what, P, right, you understand, all uppercase letters, underscore, ORG,
That's it.
right? Okay. Hopefully mine is,
Yours, well,
okay, so we're okay? Everybody okay? Okay. Okay, I'll start filing through there. What's the next routine? So that's the main program, right? You understand? And then we're gonna create subroutines, right? What's the names of the next subroutine? P underscore auto, right? So this is the guy. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna come up here and click on what? Add new block, right? And then right up there where it asks me to give it a name, we're gonna give it what? P underscore auto. And then we'll hit enter. That's all we have to do up here. Right here. That's all we have to do. Right here. I'm gonna call it P underscore auto. And then click on what? Just put okay. That's all we're through. That's all we have to do. Just hit okay. Okay. Then what are we gonna do? Go to the next one. But as we add the blocks, we should see them start to pop up here in our tree. Right? Hopefully. And so we're going to add P auto. What comes after P auto? P M stop. Then what's the next one? P stop. And then I think the next one is P M blink or something.
Ladder 3 and ladder 4, is that right?
No, we're giving them the names. We're not giving them ladder. We don't have ladder 3, ladder 4. We don't have that anymore, right? You understand that? What we have is we have names. We don't have ladder 2, ladder 3.
So it says at the top of the page, it's going to be the reference to LED 3, LED 4.
Are we okay? So what comes after P auto? EMSTOP, right? I thought M blink was the last.
So the next one is P lowercase stop. The PEM stop.
Yeah, P EM stop, then P stop, and then I think P blink is the last. EM blink, right?
Ladder is the word.
we're gonna have to type these comments right now.
Yeah, we don't. They don't call them. They call them organizational blocks. They call them function blocks. So that's function control block 1. This is the main loop. This is what Alan Bradley called ladder 2. This right here would be ladder 3, right? You understand? The next one would be ladder 4 if you're dealing with Alan Bradley. Of course, we're not dealing with Alan Bradley.
Yeah,
We're
I
doing-
set it up at the top, I was using that for the references, because that's how I know to recognize a subroutine. So that's what I'm looking for, and then right after it, at the top of the paper, it's what it would be.
Yeah, the actual name of the subroutine and not the ladder. But what we got to do now is figure it out, because in Alan Bradley, when you call a subroutine, you don't call it by name. You call it by what? By U3, by the ladder.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll have to match the subroutine to the ladder. And that's why we're doing them in the order, right? So that's why we got them in order. So on yours, it should be ladder 2, ladder 3, ladder 4, ladder 5. Okay. So when we see U3, when we see U:3, that's going to be auto, right? You understand? If we get them in the right order, that's going to be what we call our FC1. That makes sense? And then we should be ready when we come back. Once we get our subroutines built up, then we should be ready when we come back to start doing what? Programming. Yeah, we're going to do comments. We're going to do, to make it easy for y'all. Got to do the German comments and also the English.
Really?
So what's the next one? P stop, right? And then what we'll do next class is we'll go through these things and see if there's any commands that you don't understand. I know one of the sections has a one shot in it, so we'll talk about that. First scan we've already talked about, right? Also, we've already talked about the clock, or instead of if you look at the very last module or very last subroutine, it's called EM. It's called EM Blink. They used a cross couple timers. We're not going to use that. We're just going to go ahead and use the system clock. Let the clock time that for us, right? So I've got stop, and then I need on mine. I need what? So P underscore M Blink, right?
Yeah.
Now, what will happen is it's just like Alan Bradley. Whatever window or whatever routine you had open when you close it, that's going to be the one that opens first. But what I need to do to open these other ones is mine there yet? Is we'll just come up here and we'll just, like right now I've got my main subroutine. I'm sorry, I don't even have that open. So what we can do now is I can come up here and double click on this guy, and it's going to add a tab down here for me. Then I can come up here and double click on the next one. It's going to add a tab down at the bottom for me, right?
So just like when you're using the internet,
and then now, once I get these tabs down here, then all I have to do to go between the different routines is just to what? Swap them, right? Yeah, so what we do is we just come down here. I don't know why mine's not doing it. And then it's going to come up here and add a tab down at the bottom. Is y'all's doing okay?
Yeah.
And now we can switch between them. Now, if you go away from it and come back, it's going to go just like Alan Bradley will bring up the same routine. I like to put mine in order, right, from bottom, and it's just like Alan Bradley. If I was to come out here and open up stop, it's going to be the next tab, right? You understand that? So what you need to do is open them up in the order of the subroutines, and that makes sense. And then, of course, to call a subroutine, what do? Yeah, all I do is now is when I call auto, I just come over here and drag it over there, and it puts the subroutine box in there for me. Ain't that slick? And then it's going to automatically call that. So what I'll give y'all out, I don't think it's ready yet. I wish I could give this out to you before you went on break. But what I'm working on is a tag table where y'all can come in and go ahead and do your tags. This makes sense? So what I've done is I've associated an Alan Bradley address. What I've done for you is I've associated it with the equivalent Siemens address, right? What's nice about Siemens is Siemens does not have dedicated memory. It's got M. And then what we do is when we select different things, it dedicates that memory to whatever you do. So, F8 or F is floating point in Alan Bradley's, B is the bit files. Siemens decided just to leave the memory open, and then we assign it as we go along. Does that make sense? So everything over here is M's. I've set up the clock memory for you, and I've also come up here and set up the equivalent Q outputs for you. So what we'll do with this, let me go ahead and print this, and then it'll be. And then what y'all can do is, by the way, you can't carry these printouts home. But what I'll do this afternoon is I'll put these PDF files up on Blackboard for you. So that way you can go back up. So what we can do right off the bat, when it says B3, B3.0, then I'm going to use M0.1, right? You understand? And then I'm going to assign it a tag. And what tags am I going to use? I'm going to use exactly the same tags that Alan Bradley uses. So when you see B.3, when you see like B3.4, somewhere in there, it's going to have a tag assigned to it. So what you can do on this chart is just go ahead and just write the tags down, right? And then the greens are the tags. Yeah. The greens are the tags. So we'll go ahead and assign all those tags, right? You understand? That makes sense? Yeah, because I was still working on it. Hopefully let me go to.
This is off subject. I'm applying for scholarship today for the school. And
I think it's going to work. Go ahead.
it's FAFSA that we're working with now to cover any part of that FAFSA.
I have no idea. Financial aid is financial aid. Yeah, I have enough problems keeping up with. So I think it looks like this is. Oh no! What's not going to fit on this page is the tags. Dang it! Okay, I think they just got it. Nope. Yeah, it is it's landscape. That got it. I think that. Yeah, that'll fit. I'll go ahead and print this off and give it back to y'all, and then give y'all something. And what I'll do is I'll put these forms right here. I'll put them up on Blackboard, and then you can go back and start doing what. Just go ahead and assign your tags, and then when we come back, then y'all already have your tags set up, and now you can use each chart to set up your tag table, right?
I think that's cool.